I think when Jesus talks about the law and he talks about forgiveness being part of the law, when he talks about the law, he's talking about like the laws that govern consciousness, not like human laws, like, oh, we don't, we don't go outside without covering our hair in this society. That's the law, or we, we drive 85 miles an hour on the freeway. That's the law. It's the law. You have to follow it. It's the law. If you're a decent person, you follow it because it's the law. That's not the kind of law that like Jesus is talking about. And that's not the kind of law I believe that's in the Old Testament. It's more like the laws of consciousness, like the laws of physics. It's like, oh, if I drop a feather and a hammer and there's no wind resistance, they'll fall at the exact same speed. That's gravity. That's the law. The law is 2 bowling balls of different weights are going to hit the ground at the exact same time. A 5-pound bowling ball and a 1-pound bowling ball are going to hit the ground at the exact same time. That's the law. It's not like we're following it because we're good people. It's because that's just how it is. Same with the laws of forgiveness. You have to forgive if you want to be forgiven. Like, that's just the law. That's just... You can't wrap your mind around forgiving yourself if you have a deep core belief that these other people are so inherently evil and wicked and bad and irredeemable, and you know best. You will measure that meat against yourself as well, and you're going to do stuff that you will unconsciously measure yourself up against these laws that you do for others. It's just the law. It's just how it is. It's just how your nature is. Your nature as a human being. And you as a human being are precious and valuable to this world. You exist. You have cool stuff. You do some cool stuff. You do some good stuff as a human being. You have just as much right to live as that deer. You're both alive. You're not, Reese? So, I think the law is a little misunderstood sometimes. The law is being like, we just follow it because we're good people, rather than, this is just how it is. Like, you just, I don't know. On all this hangs the law and the prophets. It's like there are laws that govern consciousness. And what is consciousness? Sometimes I think consciousness might be a fungus. It might be an invasive species on the planet. Maybe consciousness itself is an organism that's latched on and uses the resources of the planet to create fruiting bodies. Who knows? Are humans themselves? Like, I just think consciousness, like, do humans have a different kind of conscience than like trees and animals? Or is consciousness itself a giant construct that infects everything living? I think it is. I think all living things are part of that conscious construct, part of that collective. I think humans are the highest form because we're self-aware. I don't think a dog's self-aware. I don't think a dog goes around thinking, I wonder what death's going to be like. I think the dog maybe doesn't even have a concept that it's going to die. I think it knows when it does know when something else dies, and animals, they have been shown to know when like their fellow animals die. Like elephants have what looks like funeral type feelings, like they gather around, maybe do like graveside emotions. Like a mother elephant will grieve her young calf who died. There's like lots of grief you can see in the animal kingdom. They're sad, they're missing them. I don't know if they really understand what that means though, and like, do we even understand what that means? I don't know if animals have the same kind of consciousness, but maybe they do. But also humans, I don't know, they're a little different. Like one thing is my dog will obey me his whole life. My dog needs me to know how to get along in the human world. Like if he's going to be interacting, he doesn't know how to live in the natural world. He doesn't know how to live in the human world. He relies on me. He needs me to tell him what to do. He needs to obey me for his entire life. That's his role, and that's what he's happy in. Okay, Reese, come here. But my human child right now is like the dog. Training the child similarly to how I train the dog. But I'm training them for the ultimate day of when they are now capable of interacting and getting along in the world on their own. They don't need to obey me anymore. The ultimate goal of raising children is to have independent adults who no longer rely on you or need you to live their life. They're independent, they're sovereign. They make choices, and maybe animals are the exact same. Maybe the reason the dog isn't sovereign is because we've made him not sovereign. He was not taught by his mother how to hunt, to eat in the wilderness. And he's definitely not a human, so he can't interact in the human world. He's just like kind of stuck in the person world. He's completely reliant on me, We're the mercy of humans. But he's still conscious and aware. He still feels love and affection and acceptance. I know he feels those things. I don't know that. I can guess by his behavior, though. The look in his eyes. He comes for hugs. Seems like he's a conscious, aware being. Anyway. Anyway, it looks like there's laws of consciousness, and it looks like there's laws of human consciousness specifically. It seems like humans have the most complex consciousness. Humans have difficult consciousness, I don't know. We have to worry about morals. We don't have to, but we certainly do. We worry about what's right and wrong, how we like things to happen. It's made us successful in surviving because we say, hey, this behavior is what we like, this behavior is what we don't like, and we just deal with that. Are we any higher? Are we more important, more special? Because we can talk? Because we can talk about who should do what and how they should do it? And then do we need judging? Do we need to judge? Is that how we've become successful? Is because we've judged, hey, this behavior sucks, we're not going to do that anymore. I think the judging is more like a feeling, like the feeling that they're bad people somehow. I think that's more the judging that's like, don't do that. But discerning, this behavior is logically something we don't want in our society. So, if you spit on the floor, I'm going to put you on timeout. It's a little bit different than you spit on the floor you were inherently a bad person. You were born bad, or you're beyond broken and you're just bad now. And now you're ostracized, cast out. I think it's the ostracizing type behavior. Even timeout can be ostracizing. That's one point, or it's one credit. I don't know what is the word. One bonus, one thing for spanking. Spanking is not ostracizing. You spank, they're in the group, going along, they spit on the floor, you say, we don't spit on the floor, spank, spank. They're like, oh, get your attention. I definitely don't want that pain. I'm definitely not going to spit on the floor anymore. And we move on with our day and we're friends. And we don't talk about it again. It's just like, that's it. They spit again. It's like, spank, spank, don't spit. And then we move on with our day. And eventually, they don't spit on the floor anymore because it's just not acceptable. They don't want the pain or whatever. But there's not a social ostracizing. There's not that feeling of you're a bad person now, or like, we're getting rid of you. You have to go away from us because your behavior sucks. It's hard to say. I think the judging is more of a feeling, because it's like you're at the grocery store and a lady cuts you off and it's just like you're so mad and just so like, oh, this person, But if you don't judge, if you just say, oh, this person, oh my goodness, what's going on in this person's life? You're curious, open. Or if the person's extremely hostile, you just take yourself away from there. You're just like, all right, well, I'm going to go this other line. I'm going to go over here. I can't fix this person. I can help this person. This person's not asking for help. I'm not in this person's family. I don't know anything about this person. I'm just going to go into the other line. I'm not going to make a big deal of it. I'm not going to ruin my peace for it. I'm going to keep my peace. But, like, I'm just going to go in the other lane, If there's only one lane, I'll deal with it. Maybe I just won't talk. Maybe I'll just go to the side and wait for them to go through. I don't know. There could be many things, many different actions that don't involve judging, but you might need to discern that their behavior is hostile or dangerous, and then you could remove yourself. There could be that. So I feel like discernment and judgment are different. And it's kind of like you can know that because you're coming from love. If you come from love, then it's discernment. Basically, if you're coming from love, you handle it in a loving, discerning way. If you're coming from not love, judging, you're judging, you're being upset with this person. How dare they? How dare they do the wrong thing, basically. Oh my gosh. And it's raining, and I need to run my generator, but it's raining, so we are just going to have no power for today. Is this going to pass, though? Should we just leave it out? It's not that hard. It's coming down. People are just not going to have any power. Well, I have temporary power with the battery. My goodness. Where's my flashlight? There it is. I'd say this kind of stuff happens, and do I curse God or just handle it? So, well, this is just how it went. Is this stopping? Okay. Taking off the battery charger. Taking off the clips. Wrapping up the cords. Taking it into the trailer. Okay, and then we are hooking the terminals back up and the rain is stopping. Been on negative ground. Oh man. And the rain is stopping. Maybe I will just try to charge it with the shore power as much as it will. We can just quickly come out and disconnect the generator, but I don't have to do the whole battery charger rigmarole. I'll try the shore power, because it is definitely stopping raining now. Okay. My life. Okay, so let's turn on the battery, if that will work. Probably won't, but that's what we'll do. Okay. Oh, just raining on. I really need some kind of housing unit for the generator. Oh, it's raining again. How bad is it? Can I create a shelter for the tarp? And we'll block the airflow. Stopping, starting, stopping, starting. Okay. Hey you. Oh baby. You're so cute. It's a good boy.